Obviously, you entered the education system for design a few years ago. Do you think that sustainability, the role with sustainability in design, has changed today versus when you first entered college or left
Yeah,
college?
it has. When I initially went to school, to be honest, it wasn't a big thing
Mm-hmm.
at the time. It wasn't that big of a concern, and so I never had that in the back of my mind as far as just the impact of that. So, fast forward so many years being in this line of work, that shift has kind of changed in the sense like we need to kind of realize what that footprint is, and when we have the capability to manage that, then it's kind of our responsibility to realize, okay, if we're able to control how it's going to be outputted, how it's going to be produced, and then we're going to suggest probably the best ways to minimize costs, minimize the impact on the environment, and then obviously on top of that, continue like building these relationships with people, and that hopefully we're all on the same page as far as what they're trying to accomplish with their projects, and realize that we're actually trying to benefit the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, it's definitely changed. I mean, going to school in 2001 when I graduated has definitely changed the messaging of that, and that's definitely become a lot more apparent in design now.
So, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people 10 years ago, like when they were first leaving the industry and sustainability started becoming a thing, they were saying that like it's really hard to be sustainable in the design field because a lot of people aren't necessarily interested in it. So you're just kind of looking for whatever work you can get. Do you think that
Yeah.
it's still the same way today, or what kind of advice would you have for designers that are trying to make it and be sustainable?
Yeah, I think, like I said, a lot of design work can come to when you initially get into this line of work. It's a lot of production work. It's a lot of people telling you how to design and how to envision things. And then when you're able to kind of put in your due time, you're able then to have a little more control of what you want to produce. And then there's that level of trust from whatever your employer or your peers, in which you're able to explore things. And then you're able to bring your ideas and personal opinions on some parts of it, as far as realizing like, okay, well, I think it'd be really good if we, produce this on some kind of recycled paper, or maybe there's a way to retrofit something else, and just kind of think these things out, and then you're able to basically explain your vision because you've already built this level of trust with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot easier to kind of do stuff that maybe you weren't able to do in your first year being in a company. And then from that, obviously, the ability to adapt, and then you're able to endure kind of, the tough times in the market. That right now, unfortunately, a lot of companies kind of fell. About 2 years ago, a lot of agencies in the Fresno area went away. And JP Marketing is one of the ones that have survived based on this philosophy of adaptability, keeping costs low, realizing that we don't need a big space. We can just kind of keep everyone really tight and produce these really great groups of people and collaborating and stuff like that. So it's a really good environment to kind of support this whole idea of sustainability.
Okay. I realize that your firm doesn't necessarily focus on sustainability, but do you guys have any sustainable practices, or do you like to take on certain sustainable projects? I noticed that you guys did like a bike one, and yeah.
Yeah. JP Marketing is really good about wanting to kind of give back and kind of support its community. We've always, I've been with the company for about 6 years now, and I knew before that they've always done a charity of choice for the year.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, throughout that year, whatever clients we have, they will donate a certain amount of money. I think it's $50 now to that charity of choice on your behalf. And so, like, it was Community Food Bank was last year. This year's PBS, and so that's an internal thing where we get to vote on a long list of local charity of choices, and we're like, okay, we really want to support PBS. I think they're really doing some good stuff, and we just want to not only give them donations, but also we provide them with free design and advice, marketing advice.
Oh, cool.
It's really like this long year relationship to kind of elevate their brand, and meanwhile, on top of that, we're doing all this charitable work and kind of getting our name out there as well. On top of that, our company encourages a lot of extracurricular activities to basically give back to the community. So, like this week, we just ran, or actually I just ran in the Red Balloon Race, benefiting Children's Hospital here in Fresno. That was cool, and that's nothing that you get paid for. It's just saying, wear your JP shirt and be out there and kind of represent the company. And we're more than happy to do that only because it feels good to give back, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just the idea of low impact and low footprint in the world. We obviously promote recycling. We carpool any possible chance we can. So we always have that in the back of my mind. As far as messaging goes, we wish we had more opportunities to kind of work with agencies that had that type of messaging. We try to seek those out. Unfortunately, I don't know, maybe we're not knocking on the right doors. Mm-hmm. So we're kind of working with what we can.
All right. Then in terms of where the field of design is heading, do you think that sustainability is going to increase its role? Or do you think that it's kind of just a passing thing that we're using to appease targeted audiences?
Well, I mean, if I looked at sustainability 10 years ago, I would be like, okay, I see where this has gone, and I'm trying to look down the line as well, and I realize that the way the industry is, it's definitely going to be a larger force as far as being more cognizant of how we design things, what the impact is at the end product. Like I said, if we're given the opportunity to control the end product, which isn't always the case, but when we do have those opportunities, we do make sure we produce a low cost paper and low impact paper, or suggest alternatives that don't need to pull a lot of resources, mm-hmm. and kind of not only the benefit to the community but also to the clients, bottom line. So I think just with the kind of the advancements in technology and just how the industry is growing, and I think it's just going to be a bigger part of it, and realizing that people are more educated now, and they're going to want to benefit, or they want to work with an agency that's more cognizant of sustainability. Mm-hmm. I think it's just kind of a two-way street that people probably respect them more in the sense okay, this is what we're doing for our environment, for our community, for people. And people are going to want to align themselves with that kind of company. So.